John Bianco, come front and center. Then you guys can bring down your cast. And everyone else like it. Come on, guys. So, have you done the short guys too now?
Yes, the short guys.
The short guys.
And Mr. Tony Brett, is he in the house? Tony Brett? Okay, we'll get back to you.
Well, let me just start by saying congratulations, and I really commend you guys on not copping out. I mean, you made a dark film, and you didn't cop out at the end with a happy ending, obviously. Although some would say it is a happy ending, but based on you guys started out doing besides your acting career, started out doing shorts together, moved into features, and this is kind of a change of pace for you. So let me talk a little bit about where that came from, the change of tone and stuff.
Sure. I had a vision of how I wanted Long Shot Louie to go. I had a story. I called John. I said I wanted to make like almost a Boogie Nights meets The Wrestler, and I wanted to make it where obviously we had to have Louie at the end of his rope because if he was in good shape, it wouldn't make sense, his movie. But John and I have done a lot of things, and I knew John, coming from the same background as I have been, was the right man for the job, and he's brought it to life.
Yeah, it was. It's a nice light film, right? Don't hate my character too much. Right? Yeah, Steve and I have worked together on short films, and we are definitely drawn to the dark side. But I like to have that little flip up at the end where, it's still dark, but you still have hope that maybe her kid might have a shot. So that's the vision I was thinking of. Dark films definitely play on people's feelings. Hopefully someone could, people out there could relate to the characters that I created. We all know people kind of, on the dark side, some people that we don't want to admit, or some people that we try to help. And it just, hopefully it just touches you, because that's, as a filmmaker, that's what we try to do, is just to strike a chord,
And it's great, kind of like regional filmmaking. You guys are like, Staten Island based, and all your stuff is Staten Island SI.
Right. Steve wanted to do something very Staten Island type, so we had to throw the ferry in there, and locations and stuff like that. So.
Steve, let me ask you, what was the biggest challenge that you faced as an actor doing this?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, I had to put on 25 pounds for the role, which was a little tough.
How'd you do that?
Basically stopped working out at almost nothing and eat a lot of ice cream at night. And it was tough. It was tough to watch myself with my big fat stomach. But that, and I had a bout with my dad, younger. Growing up, my father was an alcoholic and a little bit abusive. So, having that whole element really, even here, I obviously seen the movie 50 million times in edit, but even a lot of times, there was some scenes with John over at the table that I really felt it here. I almost broke down a couple of times, only because it was so close. So the challenge obviously for me was to get that out there, and having the courage to do so. Watch my father watching it, who's now in his 80s, but he kind of got it, and nothing was said, but he was hard like that. I didn't get to kill my father though, but John kind of.
Would you guys? I know there's a lot of people from the cast and crew here. Would you like to acknowledge them? Take a bow.
Yeah, get Jake down here. Jake, Catherine. Is Jacqueline out there? Did she? Mia. Brian. Cameron. All right, here's my wife. Brian Kelly.
Right here. Thanks.
Is Joe here? Is Victor still here? Victor Coluccio?
No, I left.
Victor. Wise guy. No, I left. All right, come on down. Mike Turner. Just get the cast. I need the cast. Come on. Let's have a nice round of applause for the cast members. Because I'm sure working with me was impossible. Ernie, my boy Ernie, the drug counselor. You're a tough guy, you are. A tough old bastard, you are. And let's hear from my crew. I don't know if everybody was able to make it right now, but let's have a nice round of applause for the crew who worked. I mean, it's a full effort, you know. As John would.
You have obviously a large, wonderful cast. Talk a little bit about your casting process. And our old friend Judy Henderson was involved, and JT.
We did a lot of casting on our own, but when we would need to cast the 2 female leads and Jake, who played younger Louie. So we really had a tough time casting those roles. So Judy Henderson brought us wonderful actors with Jake, Catherine, Jacqueline. So yeah, I mean it was great. I mean a lot of these cast members I know personally. Ernest was brought on by John. Vic I know for years. So I had a whole bunch of Brian. Everybody here. Cameron was in my short, one of my shorts. So so the whole casting process was pretty awesome. But thank God for Judy because she really brought this together. With Jake.
Now a question for Jake: did you to play young Steve Stanulis? Did you follow him around, shadow him?
He had to walk around and carry my G-string for a
lot of laundry. No, I mean a lot of it was just really kind of talking to both him and John, and it was such a world so far removed from my childhood and my growing up, so it was kind of just really drawing off of their experiences, and there was just kind of a mood set from day one that it was going to be a collaborative and heartfelt process, and that nothing was going to be swept under the rug or left out. And so I think with that attitude in mind, what we did was just kind of go for it, and hopefully that showed on the screen.
Any questions for cast and crew? Yeah.
First of all, I want to thank you because I thought the movie was awesome. You were all amazing in it.
Thank you.
I wanted to say, right before you confessed, I turned around and said to you, why is the brother, where does the brother fit into this? And when you killed your father, I thought it was so great that he disappeared and nobody thought about it until the end of the movie. When you said that, I thought that was so great.
Yeah, I think John tied that in great because everything at the end came full circle, and John brought that obviously. And even at the end, Louie, at the end he couldn't make it because at the end he killed his father. So at the end it was poetic justice that he at the end got killed as well, the same exact way that he killed his dad. So we thought it was poetic justice, and again John brought that to life.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that I like things going full circle. So that's street justice, however you may call it, but there is some sort of justice that I like to see in filmmaking, and that's how I portray it. So, what goes around comes around, pretty much, an eye for an eye and all that stuff. So, hopefully it worked and it was timed right, and I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Any other questions?
I have a question. Hey Jake, I don't get along with my brother. You think you can hook me up?
No answer.